Okay, so this is the Quarry Mill Unearthed exhibition. Here we are, Unearthed. Here are some soil samples from the various gardens at Quarry Mill. This exhibition is all about the people, past and present, at Quarry Mill for over 200 years of history that have enjoyed, worked in, or experienced the gardens in some way. So we have the mill owners who enjoyed the gardens 200 years ago. We've got here Hannah Gregg. So Hannah Gregg, a very enlightened lady of means, and here's some of her correspondence. We've also got Robert Hyde Gregg's letters, her son, where he writes about the gardens. He was an avid collector of rhododendrons, so this is his rhododendron book here. Okay.
We found these in the archives.
We found them in the archives, yes, so we're bringing them out on display for the public, okay? So moving around in the exhibition, here we have, come to our listening shed.
Our listening shed. Come inside, come and have a look.
Come inside.
You can put on a tape.
Turn the volume up. Can you see? It's very dark in the listening shed. But these are oral history recordings of the gardeners.
Our grandson Dylan is with us because.
So whose oral history is this?
So at the moment we've got
because when he was little,
Philip and Melanie, they're garden welcome volunteers. We also have Morris's, we've got Cyril and Alicia, we've got Tom and Sarah as well.
Playlist.
Yeah, mixtapes.
Okay. So one of the hardest parts of the exhibition was putting the shed together curatorially. It took us a while. Okay, so moving on from there, we've got a series of panels in the exhibition relating to different characters, historically or modern. So here we have Tom the gardener. He's our youngest, newest gardener at the mill here. So we've also recorded Tom's oral history. So it's now gone into the archive. So in 100 years' time, when we want to know who was in the gardens and what they were doing, we can listen to Tom and find out.
This is his boots.
So one of the most precious items in the display is Tom's muddy boots.
Here we've got dressing up live.
We've also got some kind of interaction going on here, some kind of interactive. You can dress as a gardener from the past or present.
Why shouldn't it be a fun place to be?
Here we have a cotton weight, which is actually a museum object. We weren't allowed to move this, so we've dressed it with the gardens. So we're bringing the gardens inside the mill itself. So there you go. We were very worried about when we watered them, it would leak all over and rust this precious.
Conservation nightmare.
Skip that bit.
Okay.
This is Ashley, the Academy Ranger, and her display, obviously she doesn't have any old objects in the archive, so we've just put all her modern day objects that she uses on her bat walks.
What's that?
That is a special item.
That's to test pH.
pH tester.
And a temperature gauge. So Ashley is a ranger and she uses these on various walks relating to conservation. We've also got bat biscuits, which are very delicious.
Bat biscuits.
I ate one this morning.
Are you leaving them in the display case for the next 2 months?
Yeah, we're hoping the squirrels can't get in.
And we hope they won't go mouldy as well.
Okay. So moving on, we've got some sound bites on a sound wall. We've got a children's play area here for the wee little nippers. So you can go with this and collect vegetables. This is my favourite area of the exhibition.
Alright, so go your own. Yeah.
We've got this. Oh yeah, we've done that.
So do you want to talk about Morris and Cyril?
Morris and Cyril, who worked in the gardens in the 30s, but the crazy thing is they didn't really know each other until now, being 91 years old. So they worked either side of the upper garden wall at the same time, but neither of them knew it. And they went to the same school, were born in style, and they just finally met thanks to this exhibition, really. That's them.
Okay.
This is
And this
mix
is
of old.
So referencing the kind of the kind of old kind of historical characters of the mill and the contemporary characters of the mill, we've created a tool wall with objects from the past. So these are actually the old objects here, the scythes and the hoes. They are actually in the collections at Quarry Bank Mill, used by the gardeners in the Edwardian period or around about the early 20th century. So we've mixed them with the new objects and the old objects together. It was an absolute nightmare to try and safely attach these to the wall. It took us a long time, so we didn't want any children, visitors, hanging off of one of the objects and having an accident. So that was a bit of a stress, but it's done now and it looks okay, I think.
well done.
Then moving on from there, we've got an object case here. We've got a photograph album from 1903 with some images of the garden. We use these images to help us and letters also to help us writing our text panels about what was going on in the gardens in the past. And here we have a project wall. It's purposefully made like a project wall with sticky tape.
Yeah.
This is about the restoration of the glass houses at Quarry Bank Mill, and these lovely cases from IKEA worked out really well, and hopefully we'll be able to keep them afterwards and take them home.
I think that's it.
That's it, yeah. So we've got some
Amazing
nice chairs. This is Nick, our photographer, our official paparazzi. But that's our exhibition, Unearthed, about the gardens.
Excellent. Yeah, well done.